Hey guys, this is your girl Ashley Wells, aka the Life Guru. In the spirit of this being lovely Halloween month, I was like, let's take a break off them life's been life and topics for a change, and let's go into some goodies, some Halloween stories. Yes, your girl has had quite a bit of a interesting past with being associated with paranormal experiences. Oh God, yeah. But hey, I'm never one to shy away from my experiences or anything like that. And hell, even putting downplay on some other experiences that some of my associates have shared over the years. So let's get into it. So there's quite a bit, and each and every time you're gonna see a story, it's absolutely yes, 100% real, yes, 100% true, yes, and 100% happened. Show enough. So, probably my first one, man. The probably the first story I would choose to share would be the Tickle Me Elmo nightmare toy. So this took place back in, I want to say 1998, 97, 98. This was the era where a lot of PBS stuff was really popping around then. You had the Teletubbies and Arthur and all that other good stuff. But Sesame Street was doing a really big thing with Elmo at the time. I mean, almost every toy that dropped back in the day was associated with Elmo some kind of way. So there was a typical toy called Tickle Me Elmo, and the thing was where you would touch it in certain areas, it would shake and giggle, do that cute little Elmo voice that I'm not going to try to attempt because Lord knows I can't. But it was a very popular toy. I mean, flying off the shelves, everybody had to have one. But there's another detail to that toy. So my mom got one. I cannot for the life of me remember where she got from. I know she got it used. She did not get that doll brand new. Um, so my brother, she got it for him. I was, I was about a little over 10 years old. My brother, he was just about a year old or so, and my mom got that doll. My brother was very into the PBS little stuff. He had his little Teletubby, he had Poe, and of course, I guess my brother had a thing with red dolls because now I think about it, he had Poe and he had Elmo for a second at least. So my mom gets this daggone. Now we don't do loud making sound toys in my household. We didn't do that back then. I can't even count on one hand how many toys I had that spoke, did anything other than what I made it do, move its arms or whatever may have you. But she got Tickle Me Elmo. Right off the bat, that thing was just just making all these little giggles and sounds, and we wasn't even touching it. And I remember it be sitting on the couch, touch me, doing the little giggle sound and laugh. I'm like, Mom, seriously, this thing, and it was loud. It wasn't like a, oh, okay, it's minimum, volume. That thing was loud. You could hear it clear across the entire apartment we was in. So I remember my mom got so fed up with that thing, she put it in the bottom of a toy bin. And I leave for 2 days, 2 solid days, didn't hear anything. And even when my brother would play with it, nothing. And he was like, "What's wrong with my Tickle Me Elmo?" He was like, "Well, maybe," we were like, "Well, maybe the daggone thing worn out from talking so daggone much." So we was kind of happy to shut the hell up for once. My mom worked third shift, and we would sleep in her room. Um, and I remember there was a night where it was me and my brother. We was sleeping in my mom's bed and everything. My mom had the cable TV in her room, so we was knocked out sleeping in her room. And all of a sudden, now my brother's toy box was in my mom's walk-in closet against the wall when you first walked in. It was against the wall going towards the left. I heard that creepy little thing just do this particular chuckle, but it was different. It was not a chuckle nor a laugh that I ever experienced it doing before. It was different. And that thing only had like 3 settings, really. Like, tickle me or pick me up. I'm Elmo. Blah, blah, blah. That was it. This sucker just did the most creepiest type laugh, and that was it. And I'm sleeping, and I woke up like, that eye popping out. I was just like, huh. I went back to sleep. I was like, well, maybe a car or something, fell on it or something like that. Me trying not to feed into that. I was like, okay, you know. Went back to bed, heard it again, and when it did, it got a little louder. I woke my brother up like, hey, Tyler, you hear that? Now, my little bit, he little, but my brother was really, really, very mature for his age, believe it or not. So when I asked him, like, did you hear your Elmo toy making noise? He said, yeah, I've been pretending this whole entire time I've been asleep. Boy, get your butt up. And we said, I'm like, okay, so I'm not tripping. You heard that thing too. He said, AE, and that's the nickname they call me. He said, hey, that thing been doing it all night. You was asleep and you didn't hear it apparently, but he said that thing been doing it on and off all night. And it's been doing that same verse. Now, in order for you to make the daggone thing talk, you had to hit it in certain places of his body, and you really had to hit it. You had to squeeze on certain parts. And he was like, I didn't hear nothing else in that toy box moving around or fell or whatever may have you. So we ended up going to my room and locked the door. And then when our mother got home, we told her what was going on. And she said that's very interesting because when she was driving that thing home, that thing wouldn't shut up. And she noticed it kept saying the same thing over and over. Rather than say different variety of things, it kept saying that same thing over and over. But it wasn't a giggle. It was just kept saying, hug me. And I was like, Mom, I don't think that's an option for it to say that. But, internet wasn't around back then. So, well, it was, but not like it is now. So it wasn't like I can look up the features of that thing. So my mom checked it. She picked it up. She checked it. There was no batteries in that toy. As a matter of fact, the little contraption area where the batteries would go was rusted, like badly corroded and rusted. So we were thinking like, okay, well maybe most likely just the corrosion got to the wiring or something, and it just kind of is making it go haywire. But then again, I've had so many toys over the years. I ain't never had that. If anything, the battery would be going dead, and you might you hear it going dead or something like that. But this thing was functioning with no freaking problems, with no batteries in it. That was enough. My mom took that thing, put it in a plastic bag, stapled the plastic bag, put another bag, put it in another bag, and then another bag, and tied that bag, and then she got another bag of super glue that bag. I kid you not, that thing had probably a good 15 bags, and she took it to Once Upon a Child. Get this. She said, oh, we got another one. She was like, what? First of all, yeah, my mom did show up with that thing in all these daggone bags. Not a box or nothing like that, but bags. And the woman said, when my mom told her what it was in that bag, she was like, ma'am, if you look back there, we got a whole shelf full of these same toys. And people had complained about the same thing, about this thing just randomly talking on its own. Some did have batteries, some didn't. And the thing was, when they tried to take the batteries out to get the damn thing to stop talking, they could not get the batteries out. It was like they were just concrete in there. The clerk told her, we actually just had a young lady who was our closer. She just quit 2 days ago because of all the weird stuff she was experiencing with those dolls in the back room. Things were falling. Some of the dolls she even found on the ground somehow. Couldn't explain it, but she ended up putting her notice in and she left. So yeah, guys, that'll be my first little scary story of this one. But yeah, Attack of the Elmo doll. Funny how after all that happened too, maybe those dolls was hot for maybe another few weeks to a month, and you did not even see them no more after that point. So I don't know what was going on with Elmo's ass, but I know one thing: we didn't dare have another thing of Elmo in our house ever again. Hell, I don't think we even looked at. I don't think my brother even watched Sesame Street after that point. He conversed to Arthur and Barney at that point. But yeah, guys, be wary of the Elmo doll.